Ahum, everyone. And today I welcome you to a fun spiritual development video. We are going to talk about the side effects of spiritual growth and enlightenment and what I call a time slip. Exactly, yes, you're hearing it correctly. When time slips. You know that song? It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hip and pull your knees in tight. That song is from, what do you call that again? Time Warp. Let's do the Time Warp again. For many of us, that song is exactly what happens to us. It's like we're in a time warp. Time disappears, or all of a sudden we find ourselves somewhere doing something. We're like, where did my day go? Or there is no sense of time. You think it's one day, but it's another. You're not going crazy. This is a side effect of spiritual growth. It is one of the most powerful spiritual experiences that leave us with a sense of grace for days, for weeks. And those are the really good ones. Sometimes even months. I don't know what happened from January to now. We are finishing March. What is up with that? What have I done? Well, yeah, I got a little rest, which I needed. But have you noticed how fast time is slipping? The older you're getting, you'll hear it. Oh, the older I get, the faster the year moves. Yes, because the older we get, the more enlightened we get, the more understanding we get about what's going on around us. So time becomes irrelevant. Our shift in perspective kind of starts giving us some kind of peace, especially regarding issues that have been with us for such a long time. And we actually start seeing things with more satisfaction. It's kind of like we're having fun while we're doing it. It's like, whoa, wow. You get more deja vus. You get, oh my God, there's so many things. And one of the things that I really, 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 really enjoy watching is that time span between who I was and what a person sees me as and says, oh my God, you've changed so much. What does that tell you? They didn't realize you were going through this change. Therefore, time stopped for you to go through this change. So when people see you again, it's like they haven't seen you, even though it's been maybe a week or two. It's still a moment where they're like, well, we haven't really seen you that long, and look at the change that you have undertaken. What is up with this? What's going on with so and so? That is a subtle indication for you that you're going through that change. However, you need to remember that a river is still a river. The mountains are still mountains. The sky is still the sky. You are still you. But the most important thing is that you don't want to go back. Not wanting to go back to what you were before. Because right now you are comfortable, and you will be comfortable um, as you journey and you take this path. So it's really important to understand that yes, we do get time slippage. Yes, we lose a little bit of um of time while we are going through these changes, and it's normal. But when it happens continuously, now that is where you need to sit back and you need to take control of your time slips. Okay? Um, Time slips is a clear indication that you are on the right path. But something's happening to your consciousness that doesn't let you remember why or how the time slipped away. Therefore, that means that you were not consciously aware of everything that was going on around you. Is it going to drive you crazy? No. And I'll tell you why. What is happening between those time slips? Some people want to call it cracks in time. I don't know about you, but I don't like the word crack. So people have destroyed that word for me completely. What I have come to realize between those times is that there are things happening spiritually, and I have actually moved away from my body to go and participate. We don't want that to happen. We want that to happen while you're sleeping. So in your meditation, I do recommend that you calm that down, talk to your guide and say, hey, listen, during the day, and they're not going to be able to stop all the time slips because you yourself subconsciously are going to want to go and you want to participate. But you have the total control and the total permission to say, we need to do this at a time where my body slumbers. What is happening is now your reality is expanding, your spirituality is expanding, and it's taking more and more time off of you. Notice what I'm saying. It's taking more and more time out of you. So you need to make sure that you understand that you need to talk to your, I call them tribe, and let them know this needs to be done at a time where the body slumbers. I do not want to lose time. I've heard people going through this while they're driving. And you know someone that has gone through this because they all talk about it. I know people that have been at work and it's like, oh my God, it's 5 o'clock. What did I do? Well, you were typing all day. I was. It happens to me. So you need to practice conscious awareness, because that conscious awareness is the one that's going to tap at your brain and say, hey, you're being called. And this is where you can say, no, I am still conscious in my body. This is not a good time. They can wait until I meditate, or they can wait until I slumber, because the body needs to be taken care of first. Okay? Some people want to call these reality shifts. Reality shifts is just a fancy schmancy word for coincidences. Okay? Um, and coincidences abound. They are abound in your awakening. So, is it really happening? Yeah, guys. Yeah, there are time slips, there are cracks in space and time, and you are in it. Um, some people will call it God's time. Um, it was wonderful to read about the Big Bang Theory, uh, to read about it. It is a theory, but it is a theory that was developed in our timeline so that we could understand certain things that happen when you put it together with what you are learning in the spiritual world. We realize we are no monkey. um, that is just for some, that because we need to cater to everyone, right? Spirituality actually caters to everyone. So whether you're an atheist or you're agnostic, or you want to believe in the Big Bang Theory, science is going to allow your brain, which is a scientific uh, piece of your body that houses the spiritual and has a Wi-Fi connection to your spiritual. But that is the reality. Your brain in your time wants to believe, and spirit is not going to say, well, I'm not going to take that away from him. You know, this is how he or she sees how I created the universe. And if this is what keeps them peace, who am I to take it away from them? They will come to the true reality and to their awakening and see for themselves that science is truly part of spirituality. It cannot be overlooked, and it cannot be dismissed in any way. And for a lot of people, yeah, 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 it is. Um, when we sit down and we understand the meaning of the clock, and why we have time here in on this earth, I want you to go back through what you know about space, energy, matter, and just imagine yourself about 15, 16 billion years ago, 20 billion years ago. Let's go to 20 billion years ago. And I want you to expand your awareness and expand your spirituality back then. Um, the moment we decided to inhabit a body, the physical body, because guys, this is not an illusion, this is real. We are in a body. Okay? Surprise! We have decided to come into a body and to evolve this meat suit. Why? Because of the great love that we have for it, the immense love that we have for this species. All right? And this is where we had to create time and boundaries and limits. It is when we come to the realization that spirit has no limit. Therefore, what we know of spirit is nothing compared to what spirit really is. It is when we allow, and our minds are not equipped at this time to understand the full extent and expanse of what spirit truly is or who it truly is. We have a limited perception of what spirit is. Therefore, that's why it's so easy for us to get conditioned in the bodysuit, or the bodysuit to get conditioned to accept time, space, and boundaries and limits. Yet the spirit contradicts that completely, especially when we go and meditate, when we time travel through meditation. When the earth started, and it started rotating, we as man started using that as a visual indication, and we called it day, we called it night, we called it, whatever. And we noticed that there was what we know now as measurable linear time, or watch time, clock time. Okay, it's measurable. Therefore, there's a limit on this earth. The earth lets us know there are limits for us. But when you fall outside of your body, limit no longer exists. When you see from another planet what our planet is doing, it is going around and around, and that geometrical symbol is infinity. The world is never going to stop spinning. The sun is never going to stop shining. There's an infinite amount of seasons for billions of years. Billions of years. Now, someone came up with a Big Bang. Well, by now you know that it's just totally meaningless. And we also know that we are dealing with some coincidences. Some of them are meaningful, some are not. And then comes the word of synchronicity. This is where in your spirituality, all of a sudden you start getting synchronicities. Well, there's synchronicities. You're syncing. You are actually syncing up to the Wi-Fi, to the messages that are going to come. You're actually getting different messages to tell you, hello, hello, we're coming. It's going to happen. All right? So that's what you're getting. And then comes the moment that a lot of people talk about, which is God's time. Well, God's time is spiritual time. It's eternity. It is infinity. Oh, wait a minute. Spiritual time. Let's go back. Spiritual time. Oh, there is where there's been a time slip. I entered spiritual time while I was practically unconscious, because I cannot recall. I cannot do a recall of what happened. I get glimpses that my subconscious put back there of me with my pen writing on my claim, entering information, speaking with Jay, my sister, speaking with my daughter. But when you put it all together, you're in a haze. You're in a daze. That means something is happening within your spiritual time. You're getting information. Now, And this is where it's important. It cannot happen while you're driving. It cannot happen while you're cooking. It cannot happen while you're taking care of children. It cannot happen where you are in a position that you cannot physically, emotionally, and rationally make a quick decision. Guys, this is worse than texting while you're driving. All right? I am pleading with you that when you feel yourself slipping into this, that you booby trap yourself into understanding that you need to come back in. And you need to say, guys, this is for us to do when I meditate, and make sure that you do, because then it will happen when you don't need it to happen. And then you make sure you tell them that this needs to happen while the body slumbers, because the body needs to heal while you are doing your spiritual time, or you're going through your spiritual time. Can you do this? Yes, you can. All right. Again, there is no time, no limit, no space in God's time. So it's up to you to put semblance into your spiritual time, into the time that you're with your God. All right? Now, you're going to notice that when you start thinking back about your time slippage, there's a rhythm, an ebbing, like a wave, a pulse. I call it divine metronome. Things feel like they're freezing. Things feel like they've slowed down. Things feel like they've stopped completely. This will also happen while you're going through your awakening. All of a sudden, time stopped. I'm not moving forward. I'm not moving backward. What the heck is happening? This is where you sit. This is time for you, because you have been engaged in this time sensitive and time environment where everything has been slipping and moving. Your body and your mind needs to catch up. So they understand that. Your spiritual awakening understands that, and your body gets a chance to recover. But most often is because your mind needs to catch up. So if you feel yourself in a standing position, you're like, nothing's happening. Good. Good. That means you're playing catch up. You're being given the time and the space to catch up and to rest the body, to rest the mind, because something's coming. Something's coming. And you need to be ready for it. This is your cue. I need to rest now because something is coming. Thank you, and be grateful and be thankful that you are able to do that. Okay? Now, after that, you're going to understand how things begin to move faster. That's why you're being given time for yourself. Get yourself ready. Get your family ready. Get your things where they need to be. Declutter your home. Declutter your car. Declutter your mind, your soul, and your body. This is where you intensify and you make changes and tweaks to your own spiritual awareness in order to get you back to where you need to be. Okay? Time, limits, boundaries, and the clock. It is on our hand to constantly do this. It is a constant human reminder that dictates to the material dimension of our experience, guys, again, I keep telling you, this is not an illusion. We're not living an illusion, guys. All right? This is real. This is a constant reminder that tells you we're in a material dimension and our experience is tethered to material dimensions, whether they're spiritual or not. We are living with each other for a common goal. So while our spiritual affects our physical affects our spiritual. They are inseparable, but they can surely be worked on individually, because in the spiritual world, there is infinity. Okay? So if time is slipping, understand it is normal. Understand that you have the actual energy to create the perfect moment for you to go into your spiritual realm and do your spiritual work. And there's certainly nothing wrong to schedule this type of work. Why? Because, guys, you don't want to be driving. You're going to hear people say, I don't know what happened. I didn't see him coming. I don't know what happened. I didn't see the stairs. I've been going up and down these stairs all my life. All of a sudden, the step wasn't there. While a lot of us are going to go to the doctor and say, I need a brain scan, you first need to say, well, wait a minute, what is happening with me spiritually? What is going on spiritually? And once you come to that conclusion, again, we need to look at it scientifically as well. Do I need to go see a doctor? Do I need, get it? Do I need to tweak my meditations? Do I need, what else do I need to do? Why is time slipping? Is it slipping in a positive way? Is it slipping, making it harder for me to function throughout the day? If that has happened, then obviously there needs to be some work to do. If you find yourself driving, listen, it's happened to me. I go from point A to point B, and when I'm in point B, I'm like, it's happened with my daughter next to me. It's like, how fast did we get here? What happened? And we're running late, and I'm telling her, don't worry, just think about it, that we're going to get there on time. There has not been one moment that we have not gotten there on time. And she herself has turned to me and said, how did you do that? I go, I didn't do that. It wasn't me. But I'm in the conscious awareness of what was happening and what needed to happen. Therefore, easing her anxiety of getting to that place late. Okay? But you all need to work on it now, because time is slipping away. And you're doing your endeavors during the day when it needs to be during the night. This is part of the responsibility of being spiritual, of working your spirituality out. Boundaries. We need to understand that we are still here on this planet, in this reality. They call it a reality because it is not an illusion. We are here, and we need to own it, and we need to work it, and we need to make it work for us, And then we need to teach others how to work through it favorably. Ahum. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of the spiritual development class. This is going to enhance your understanding of time slippage. I am going to share this video on time slips for the entire Facebook group, because I want them to see what are the other things that they get to learn in the spiritual development group and course. And for those that are looking and still haven't figured out that this is your spiritual development wake-up call, I don't know what you're waiting for, but if you're waiting for a sign, it's this one right here. Make that commitment to yourself. If you want to get to where you want to get to, and you want to understand how to do it and help others, I don't know what other sign you're waiting for, but this one's it. So, Ahum, thank you for joining me. Thank you for giving me this platform to help you. Now, I placed on the group text for you all to join my Discord and my Twitch. Facebook's been going a little off lately, and I don't want to lose you guys. So please go to twitch.tv, twitch.tv, look for Moira's Light and subscribe. Go to Discord, Discord, and subscribe. I don't like what's happening on FB. I just want to make sure that you all have a means of getting to me and to anyone in the group. I will begin to, and Discord is very much like Facebook. Just follow the prompts and you'll see how easy it really is to use. A lot of young people use Discord. Facebook is for us fogies, right? But this is it's a great platform for you all. And I can still do videos, I can still do the trainings, it's just a modern day Facebook. But it's another way of getting in touch with me. And I'm going to restart doing readings and posting videos there as well, just like here. But it is an alternative to the FB, because when it works like this, I'm afraid I'm going to lose you guys. All right, so I have to get ready to go to work. As you can see, I have a nest, and it's very appropriate for spring. So at some point, something's going to come out. Or maybe I'll find an egg. All right, I'll see you guys later, okay? All right, bye-bye.